pretty, it's got its ups and downs. Like the gold base, obviously, more often than not, Zergs are the ones to take that first, and they enjoy that quite a bit. But then the space between the two mains means that drops are especially empowered. And then also, excuse me, it's fairly confined around the bases, so it's pretty good as well for defenses on either side. I feel like it's just a good map for ZVT.
Do you think that Polt is the type of Terran that would lift up his command center and go to the gold?
No way.
No? I've seen a lot of good Terrans do it lately.
I would bet you 20 bucks on the spot right now that he won't do it.
Yeah, I mean, what are the odds? 10 to 1?
I would give you 5 to 1.
I like 10 to 1.
Do you like 10 to 1? Do you? Good for you.
All right, let's not do it. Either way, game number 4 is coming up. Jaedong versus Polt. Habitation Station is going to be our next map. You are watching.
I'll take it. 10 to 1.
I just said let's not do it.
You don't want to do it?
No, I backed off already.
Oh, damn.
If you would have said yes before, then I would have taken it.
I should have. Yeah, I know. I'm rusty from taking money from you. I got to get back into that. See? No way he does it, see. That's just not Polt, man. Polt
has faith in himself.
He likes his 1 to 2 to 3 maybe builds. Let's introduce these guys, though. Top left-hand side, running it back in game number 3. It is CM Storm Polt. And his opponent reaching for the cheddar, but not finding success. It is Evil Genius's Jaedong.
A build that is pretty popular on this map, and that's something we haven't seen from Jaedong just yet, is that 1-1 roach timing. So far, Jaedong has just shown us what we all know and love him for, you know, his excellent Mula Link Bane control whenever he can do it, even though the last game was a little different, but the first 2 games it was definitely just all that. I wonder if Jaedong is going to bust out that 1-1 roach timing once. It seems like Polt's cookie cutter, or like his bread and butter build, is pretty good against that stuff, but I've even seen Polt die against it because it's just such a hard build. Even if Terran scouts it, it's still really hard to deal with it.
Yeah. I feel like this should be a game that they both return to normalcy, to your point. Jaedong, that's where he won his games. I mean, he did a slight, not even a slight, a pretty big difference in the sense that in that second game, obviously, it was that Baneling bust that was kind of the main thrust of his army, whereas on the big map, it was much more of a macro challenge. But for Polt, he's shown the same thing. He showed diversity in Ultrazine. But that was a map-specific thing, I feel. Getting CC first there is a pretty big, normal thing to occur. To follow it up with 2-factory Blue Flame, though, and that was not reactive to anything he saw. I didn't see Zerglings and was like, oh, I need a second factory. That's showing that Polt is willing to do some differences, so all of a sudden that 10 to 1 betting I did with you becomes a little bit more questionable with this new Polt showing differences every once in a while.
This is not a fantastic Reaper map, but it seems like Polt is still going to open up with a Reaper over here.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be the 3 Reaper opening. I'd be really surprised if he does it on Habitation, even though you don't make 3 Reapers to hop into the main base and then like go on a crazy killing spree or something like that, but it just doesn't really seem like the best map for it, but we'll see. Jaedong on the other hand is showing us the exact same thing as in game 1 and on game 2, like Way Station and merry-go-round. He gets relatively quick gas because he doesn't want to be bothered by those Reapers too much.
Yeah, it seems that, like I said, both these players are kind of returning to their usual tango. To your point, Reaper's not being fantastic on this map. I have to agree. I think it's more just that he's doing that to get that map control again. He loves having the Viking first thing off the starport, the 6 to 8 Hellions and the 2 to 3 Reapers. Again, just kind of challenging a third base, taking care of any sloppiness. If Jaedong wants to accidentally bleed forward a Queen or try to change up his strategy, which he's shown to do in all the matchups, that style will let you know about it at its earliest points in time, and it's very strong that way.
Oh, with these 6 Zerglings, Polt has to be a little bit careful. There's Reaper getting scarily close to one of these corners over here. Extractor, Jaedong mines exactly 100 gas. Polt sees it as well, so he's like, all right, you start your gas at 420, that means that it's going to be done, or it's going to be ready at the 6-minute mark precisely. So Polt doesn't have to worry about too much. He's not going to get surprised by anything.
Sometimes not yet, these players with their micro, they're like BMX riders. You're like yelping and shrieking as they run through these hoops of micro. It is a third Reaper behind that. You know, I agreed with everything you said. Even that second barracks tucked away behind the mineral line. So with the way Polt does things, we can probably rest assured that that is exactly what it looks like it is. It's going to be that aggressive double medevac drop. Jaedong did not scout that out last time. He did not see anything that let him know about that. It was just kind of he naturally was able to absorb it. But on this medium-sized map, that drop's going to happen even faster, so that could be a problem for Jaedong going forward.
Yeah, if Polt once again is going to research Stim that quickly, that could definitely be a problem. Above all, it could also be a little harder for Jaedong to get his third hatchery up and running as quickly as he got on merry-go-round, where he was very easy, was able to easily expand away from Polt. And on this map, you know, it's a little harder to get that drone down when there's Reaper are there. But Polt knows, you know, he saw that gas go down. He saw the spawning pool starting to wiggle. At 6-minute mark, speed is ready, as we can see in the production tab, or 6:04 it is. And he's going to go home with his Reapers.
Yeah, so Overlord got a lot of intel, did a little bit of a perusal of the Terran base, sees the starport at this stage, so he knows. He knows at least that it, I mean, he might be piecing it together and saying this is that same build, actually, because he knows a Viking comes off of this, but he's also seen pretty fast medevac, and then those medevacs not used necessarily to aid in clearing creep, but rather to immediately challenge the main.
We'll see. I'm curious to see how it's going to go. I still
2 more queens.
That drop was good by Polt on merry-go-round, but I felt it could have even been better than it really was. Like, in the end, he took an extractor and some links, roaches, but it could have been a lot of drones. It could have perhaps even been the layer, and that would, of course, been devastating.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see where he goes with it.
Jaedong pulling back those units. He wants them to be as much on creep as is possible. He had only the 2 queens, now 3 there, because the third one was pretty wounded from the reapering earlier. And it's double Evo chamber, lots of lings coming out, no lair just yet. So he's kind of, again, looking to delay the lair, I suppose, to be a little bit more heavy on the queen/ling side. He's got 5 queens out here, by the way.
Yeah, there's plenty of queens. First, medevac's are in production for Polt as well. No add-ons on the building just yet. It's going to be important for Polt, of course, to keep these units alive, gives him map control. It's also going to make it a little harder for Jaedong to spread creep properly, which we all know is so important. Viking is, of course, on his usual mission. Good old Tom Cruise, always shooting down some Overlord. How much do you like Top Gun?
He has a license for that, too. Everyone likes Top Gun. How can you not?
Mr. Bitter doesn't like Top Gun.
That idiot. Does he actually not like Top Gun?
No, he said he can't stand Tom Cruise.
Wow.
What a guy, right?
What a guy. Edge of Tomorrow, man. This movie coming out looks really good with Tom Cruise.
Definitely does. 8 Hellions are on the map soon for Polt, so he's definitely not going to worry too much about these 24 Zerglings that Jaedong currently has. Jaedong is going to have to
very low in health. He's going to try to link counter here, but that's pretty iffy. Yeah, depot just gets raised. I don't know if I like that move at all. In fact, I just flat out don't. The queens do back away.
These links, ooh, they have to be so careful. The Viking knows, where are these links going? They're going to be trapped
They don't have much time left. The Hellions do come back. I guess the nice thing is that the Zerglings did drag those Hellions away because these queens, again, they're very low in health. I feel like with a little bit more pressure, Polt really could do some damage there, but he's just worried about what these links could be doing outside.
He's definitely worried. Jaedong is going to set up a surround over here.
Oh, wow.
It's actually a very good surround over here for Jaedong. Oh my god, this is painful.
He gets absolutely everything, and that was very bad. Obviously, Hellions and Reapers don't contribute a whole lot to the mid game, but there was still more life to be had there for them. They want to fight back that creep like you talked about. They want to challenge the third for counterattack options, but with them clear of the board, Jaedong is able to move around and know that he's the top dog once again.
And of course, you know, when those first banelings arrive, Jaedong won't have too many of them, so you want to let this is the only thing that he sees, and it's going to be so hard for him to avoid those banelings. Even without baneling speed, you know, as long as it's on creep, it's going to be really hard for Polt not taking a lot of damage from these banelings.
There's the scan. He is going to try to do something to the creep tumors, but he needs the hot pickup here in a second. He does pick off most of the banelings. Very good job by Polt. He picks off the banelings, kills a couple of creep tumors, and then gets back off the creep. Jaedong needs to be careful. He's got a couple of queens out here, again, ripe for the plucking.
33 army supply against 35. One of those queens extremely low in HP. There is not enough energy for transfuse. The queen lives. Oh god, Jaedong saves his queen.
Yeah. He's a British gentleman at heart. God will save the queen.
Look at this selfish queen over here. The queen is like, I could help you, but I'm just going to drop a couple of creep tumors instead.
You don't know me. You don't know my friends, she says.
You don't know
Fire does finish. 4th hatch inside the main as well for Jaedong. I like that a lot. Macro hatches, I'm a big fan of it. No third yet for Polt. The CC is finishing up inside the main, turning into an orbital. And we do have Widow Mines coming out as well. 2 at a time, by the way. That's worth noting. This is something different. In the past, it's been pretty early Thors, a couple of Widow Mines, surely, but this time around, it seems Polt's going to emphasize a lot more on them.
Yeah, it's very funny because more and more Terrans start complaining about the Widow Mines. You know, once upon a time there were those amazing, or this amazing unit that blew up everything, and now more and more Terrans are fading away from it. Like, oh, Widow Mines suck.
They got bored of it.
Yep, I'll start making Hellbats, I'll start making Taurus, just like basically anything but the Widow Mines.
Yeah.
Then again, that also makes it a lot easier for Zerg to go for those crazy engagements, because you don't have to worry about one Widow Mine shooting 20 Banelings down.
No, you don't. But it's nice still seeing it because they didn't become terrible or anything like that. Oh, the medevac does get focused, but it will be able to jet away. And with the meterless count at the low point that it's at right now, it's not in danger of getting chased down. Meanwhile, we have a little bit of a queen, a regicide going on here, as well as creep being fought back. Widow Mine's getting planted. And this is Polt StarCraft 2, just looking to just be everywhere at once and uses multitasking to great effect.
Couple of Widow Mines detonating, but they're just going on a few single Zerglings. Jaedong doing a really good job in forcing those mines to shoot. I think they rather not shoot at. Again, only losing a few mines. Now he's going to be able to force Polt again to pick up those units. Jaedong is playing very well.
This time, though, Jaedong can chase it, and in this movement, you can see Polt is zipping up into the main, but there's already units there to greet them as well. Jaedong is